Every single one of these marketing awards was won by boring businesses selling products like this. But these awards can only be won by businesses doing super creative marketing. But let me tell you a secret. It's actually easier to do killer marketing if you're a so-called boring business. It's like showing up to play the long-eaten under fives with Ronaldo and Messi on your team. Take that, kids.
You've certainly got my attention.
So if you're B2B, you sell a service or some sort of unglamorous product, then stay tuned. The last strategy in particular is going to knock your socks off. If you're selling something boring, the best place to start is figuring out what makes you stand out. Then find the best way to communicate that. The more you understand about what's great about you versus your competitors, the more you can lean into that. You'll also be able to get more traffic from the places that your customers are spending their time because you're resonating so well with them. For example, if your audience visits a particular industry news site every day, just look at this beauty, then that's where you want to be getting your company featured. Or if you sell a boring necessity that the general population buys, maybe TikTok and Instagram is the way to go. So why do we ninjas love marketing boring businesses so much? Or whether you're selling plastic cups or offering commercial waste removal, the great thing about boring businesses is that most of their competitors aren't trying to stand out at all. And this leaves a massive opportunity for any marketer who is willing to put the time in to get their company noticed. And by the way, standing out doesn't necessarily just mean using wacky images on your homepage. It can be as simple as offering the best guarantee, showcasing that you've got the most reviews or that your widgets are made of the hardest steel. If you can find a compelling reason that customers choose you, you can use this across all your marketing, in your ads, on your website, in your email copy.
How can I find out what makes my business different?
By asking customers and comparing your offering against competitors. Sometimes it can be difficult working out what makes you unique if you're so close to the business, which is why talking to customers can be so powerful. And they might even give you ideas for interesting hooks. I remember talking to a business that sold shelving and they were really struggling to stand out. It turns out their customers loved the fact that they could get custom-sized shelving. To be honest, they didn't really care too much about the other USPs that this business thought it had. So when we rebuilt their site, guess what we emphasized?
The color of the carpet in the warehouse office?
No, idiot. The custom sizes. Which brings us to competitor research. You know the drill with competitor research by now. Start by searching for your target keywords and noticing what's coming up in the search results. What are the other companies saying? Take this HDMI cable for example.
Very boring.
Just glancing through the search results, both paid and organic, we can see that some of the USPs being emphasized are things like low price, fast speeds, Ultra HD. We need to find a way to stand out. Maybe your cables are waterproof, heatproof, or, most importantly, cat-proof. We can also see that this article about HDMI cables from PC Mag is ranking on the first page. Maybe this is a publication that we might want to get featured in. Lastly, we can see some YouTube video results and we can see some pretty exciting thumbnails here. Now, there's obviously a market for videos about HDMI cables, helping you find the right cable to choose from, working out the differences between different ones. One of these has 330,000 views. Just not fair. Now remember, all of this insight and we haven't even clicked through to any competitors' websites yet. When you do click through to your competitors' websites, do more than just having a look at their USPs though of course that's important.
Really try and step into your customer's shoes.
Would they really understand exactly what your competitor is selling and why they should buy from them specifically? If they are the best option, what helps them communicate this? Once you've calibrated yourself with all of your competitors' websites, have a look at your own website. You'll usually be much better positioned to work out how you can stand out against those competitors. It can also be wise to look at current trends outside your industry. You might find something to piggyback on that's a good fit for your business. Now, we have a client that sells packaging supplies to the food industry, and we spotted that there was a big increase in the number of bubble tea shops opening around the UK. So we updated one of their old blog posts about bubble tea, ensuring it contained all of the sorts of information that somebody would need if they were opening or changing packaging for their bubble tea shop. One of the USPs our client has is that their packaging is sustainable, so we made sure to feature this throughout the blog. So by finding a very specific audience with a very specific problem and producing a very targeted piece of content that positioned our client as the best option, we were able to get in front of these potential customers with something that was so tailored to them. It might look boring to an outsider, but to that bubble tea shop founder, this was exactly what they needed. Now, if you're watching this thinking, oh, I'd love to work with the team at Exposure Ninja, we have something called the free website and marketing review. You can request this at exposureninja.com/review. We'll take a look at your website, your digital marketing, and what your competitors are doing. Like a lot of the stuff we're doing in this video, we'll break it down step by step for you and give you a 6-month action plan that you can implement for your digital, whatever industry that you're in. It's totally free. You can request it at exposureninja.com/review. And by the way, sometimes if we think it's not right for you, then we might recommend you something else. We might give you a voucher code for some of our training or some other resource. If you qualify, it's 100% free and conducted by a real person. Yes, a squishy human. You'll get a 15-minute video full of actionable insight that you can implement straight away. So go to exposureninja.com/review. All businesses need to be knowledgeable about what they sell, but that's even more true for us boring businesses. We need to understand it well enough to communicate it in simple terms to our audience. It's very common for boring companies to imagine that their audience has the same level of knowledge as they do, but actually that's rarely the case. Your customers might be totally clueless about your product or service. They might not even know that they need it yet. So there's plenty of traffic to be had by targeting the sorts of questions that imply somebody needs what you do. For example, we created some great content for one of our clients' packaging suppliers about how to pack fragile items for shipping. People who are searching for this might be small businesses who need to improve their packaging so that they can scale. That will be a great target customer for our client. But they might not have thought about getting custom packaging. So we included information in this guide to help businesses DIY their packaging. But we also linked through to the products and services that Packaging Supplies sells for readers who think, do you know what, it's just going to be easier to use this company. So even if the reader of this blog isn't ready to purchase yet, they may grow their business using the DIY information from the guide and come back later on based on the advice that has worked for them so far.
How can we find a balance between knowledgeable customers and uneducated customers?
A trap that we often see boring businesses fall into is that they just focus on the features and use loads of complicated wording that goes straight over the customer's head. Take this line from Silent Night. They describe their Just Breathe mattress like this. Rolled for convenience and easy to get up staircases, 1,000 zoned springs provide enhanced spinal alignment, our extra breathable and cooling hybrid mattress. But what even is a zoned spring, and is 1,000 of them good or bad? It feels like they're just using this technical terminology to try and prove that they are the best. Their competitor Simba actually says the same thing but more effectively in just 5 words. They start with sleep longer, deeper and cooler. Then follow with on up to 10 layers of patented sleep tech. So the benefits draw you in and the more technical features back up those benefits. So you need to include both to find that balance. Another notoriously poorly used marketing asset in the boring business world is their email list. Most companies either just pump out loads of generic rubbish that nobody cares about or never send out anything at all. Shockingly, there is a better way. Mailing lists are important for a few reasons. If you sell a high-value product or service, then typically your customers will need a longer time frame to make that purchase. Getting them signed up to your mailing list and sending out a regular series of tailored, specific emails gives you a chance to build a relationship with them over time so that when they're ready to make a purchase, they think of you. For your regular customers, your mailing list can be a great way to build familiarity, get advocacy, get them to give you referrals, and remind them why they should continue buying from you. Now, all that customer and competitor research will take your emails to a new level. For example, we identified that some of the audience for one of our clients, Toolstore Canada, was really interested in carpentry. So we made sure to share Toolstore Canada's passion for woodworking in their emails by introducing a monthly email specifically about carpentry. These emails had a fantastic open and click-through rate, all because we paid attention to what the audience wanted to know more about and used this as an opportunity to share the client's knowledge and passion. Now I've got a secret. I actually know you. As a thought leader in your industry, focusing on sharing the best content with your ideal customer in mind, you'll be producing the best content in your space. And that is exactly the sort of content that publications are going to want to link back to. This means referral traffic from these websites sending people over to your website, but of course, those backlinks also help with your ranking in search. Basically, there's no downside to adding amazing content to your website, but most boring businesses just don't do it because they think they're too boring. Anyway, you're not boring, it's your products that are boring. But that's what makes it so exciting. If you put effort into your content now, you'll be flying ahead of competitors that have basically just given up. Not everyone who lands on your website is ready to buy straight away. So we want to convert them, i.e. make them a lead as soon as possible in the process so that when they are ready to buy, they come to you.
If you help them now, they'll remember you later.
That's why it's really important to have different content for different stages of the buyer journey. So one of our clients runs an accountancy and business consultancy firm, basically helping new businesses establish themselves, company formations. Now for them, we've seen a lot of success with top of funnel content aimed at those who are getting ready to start their business. This is their prime target customer, right? Now we were already getting traffic to a blog about how to start your own Etsy shop, but our SEO and content teams identified that we could be going even further here. The business world moves fast. There's lots of opportunities to take existing content and tweak it, refine it to match current search trends. That's exactly what we did with this piece. By taking current data, adding an FAQ, revising some of the terminology and re-optimizing it, we were able to get this piece a 300% year-on-year traffic increase from organic search. Now, of course, people searching for how to start an Etsy shop are prime target customers for this client. So we included lots of links back to their service pages and also to other information, so that whatever the reader wanted to do next, we knew we were going to get them. Now, despite all this talk of getting loads of traffic, most boring businesses actually need to be a bit more okay with targeting low-ish volume keywords. So maybe you've popped some of your target keywords into a tool like SEMrush, and you've seen that the search volume coming back is less than 100, and you thought, oh no, maybe I shouldn't be targeting this keyword. Firstly, these tools are really useful, but they're never 100% correct, particularly on lower search volumes. But secondly, you need to write for the problems that you solve, even if they're niche. Or, if you're American, niche. Now, we've worked with a client who provides AI chatbots to different industries like charities and universities and banks. Now, they were going to be attending this event, but they didn't yet have a product to present. All they had was their webpage. So we worked with them to create an ebook that they could use to get leads at the event, all laser focused on the charity niche. As a result, our client got a dozen leads from this fairly small event.
All because they focused on a niche.
Now, they could have just turned up with a generic ebook all about the features of their products or all of the industries they work in, but it wouldn't have had the same impact. Another thing that we don't see enough of in boring business marketing is objection handling. There might be a reason that people visiting your website aren't taking that final step and becoming a lead. It could be that the next step you're asking them to take is unclear, or they might have too much uncertainty about your product or service itself. For example, we worked with a client of ours, Jess, to create some content about exactly how to get their accreditation. They identified that the process of becoming CHAS accredited could seem intimidating, and instead of shying away from that or pretending that it wasn't a thing, they leaned into it, handling it straight away. They don't assume that this information is too basic or that customers will know how to use their product. Instead, they were honest with themselves about what barriers the customer faced, and they made content to overcome that objection and get the purchase. Okay, bored of me talking and want to try out some of this stuff for your business, whether or not you're boring? Well, this video takes you through exactly how our agency, Exposure Ninja, does revenue increasing content marketing. I promise after watching it, you'll have so many ninja level content ideas that you will never have time to be bored again. Until next time, stay boring.